Good morning and a warm welcome to our distinguished guests, speakers and forum members. This amazing gathering of participants here today is testament to one fact. The time has arrived to bring sustainable finance to programs and policies that serve young children and families. The recognition of this funding gap has been staring us in the face for an awful long while. We know that scaled up sustainable early childhood programs are broadly categorized by 4 determinants, as Vinita mentioned: an enabling environment, the policies, finance, infrastructure; supply, the types of programs, the staffing; demand, the uptake, cultural norms, affordability; and quality, the standards and capacity. Within this framework, there is a lot to be done. Even though we have made strides, there still remains a lot to be done. But one of the biggest levers is finance that gets the machinery moving. So, while the recognition of this funding gap and finance as a determinant has been a constraint staring us in the face for a long while, we now are in a position to do something about it. So why now? Vinita talked about the vulnerability of children as an argument for why now. I would like to stress additional sets of arguments for why now, why today. Why? Because Anne told us early childhood development science has come of age. We are now crossing that threshold beyond having proved the concept to scaling up. This is a very delicate transition that we are trying to cross over. We know to a large extent what quality programs should look like, what are their key ingredients. We are getting better at measuring results. We have measures now for child outcomes. And very interestingly, there is a global movement in the recognition of the fact that children should not only survive their early years, they should thrive in them. So the time is right. They say timing is everything. The time is right. So how can we here in the next 2 days make the opportunity come to a reality? So I want to focus my remarks on the process of what brings us here today, so we can really increase investment. This room is full, chock full as we say, of expertise, innovation, experience, wisdom, passion. Let's take advantage of it. Let's all say to ourselves that we will convert this workshop into a concrete milestone where we collectively made the difference. Let's take that as our goal, our individual goals for this workshop, where we made the difference. And how can we do this? First, we have to believe that we can do it. We have to own the word investment. We have to understand what it means, and we have to believe that each one of us in our respective professional capacity has a role to play in this dialogue, in this conversation. We have to believe we can do it. And then we have to dialogue with each other. We are so fortunate to have this diversity amongst us across several disciplines: education, psychology, finance, economics, biology. We have multiple sectors: government, private industry, academia, philanthropy, civil society. I'm so pleased to share that UNICEF has been instrumental in bringing colleagues that represent their national governments from ministries of education, health and finance from 6 countries in South Asia and 9 states across India. We really have so much wealth of experience and decision-making power in this room today. So let's dialogue, because we are at this very delicate and beautiful cusp of bringing together two different worlds, the world of early childhood and the world of finance. The reason I'm stressing dialogue is because in my experience and my decade-long of work in early childhood, I've realized one of our big challenges to increasing investment is that those of us who are generating the evidence on early childhood have really spoken in our own language, in our own terms, using our own nomenclature. We haven't been successful in understanding what is the language investors speak. We haven't been very clever in translating what do these outcomes mean in economic and finance paradigms. And we have to do this because we have not engaged in the right dialogue. Today we have the moment to engage in that dialogue, in that translation process. So we should take advantage of that and come to mutual understandings of how we can communicate the evidence of early childhood to increase investment. I'm reminded of a story that I would like to share with you. And I share a story because we are in India, the land of oral traditions, the birthplace of some of the greatest epics and storytellers. And this hotel is in the shadow of Nizamuddin, a great Sufi saint. So I want to share with you the story of the Conference of Birds. It was written by a famous Sufi poet in the 12th century, Fariduddin Attar. This beautiful poem is written in Farsi by Attar, and it tells us of many groups of different birds who come together in search of their king. The book is written with great symbolism, where each bird has a special significance, not very different from us. We all represent a significant set of stakeholders. The guiding bird, the hoopoe, the nightingale symbolizes love, the parrot, immortality, the peacock, vanity, and so on. These birds have to cross 7 valleys until they reach their destination, and the story is beautiful, and hopefully you'll pick up a copy of it. But what is striking about the book and relevant for us is that through the entire journey, the birds are engaged in a dialogue with each other about this king. They have individual perspectives and ideas, but they continue to engage with each other. And when the birds reach their destination, there is no king. But there is an immense lake. And in that lake, they see their reflection. The joint face of 30 birds together is the power they were looking for. Together, that reflection is king. It is the same for us. We have come together in search of increasing investments for young children. We must believe we can do it. We must know together we will achieve it. And for the next 2 days, let's dialogue, let's share, let's listen, let's understand, let's talk to each other, let's figure it out. So that when we leave, not only have we individually gained, but our joint reflection achieves our objective. So I wish everyone a successful meeting, and when we look back at this time today, may we say and remember and reminisce that together we brought sustainable finance to programs and policies for young children and families globally. Thank you.